Good evening. Welcome to Table Talk with Pastor Lynne and friends. We have missed you guys. Oh my goodness, we have missed you so much. We are so happy to be back with you. Listen, if you're viewing from YouTube, we want you to hit that like button. We want you to subscribe. We also want you to hit that bell to notify you when we're getting ready to come on. And then we want you to share. If you're good for Facebook, we want you to share, like. We want you guys to be in the conversation with us. That's YouTube and Facebook. We want you to be in the conversation with us. It is not a conversation without you. So again, we welcome you to Table Talk with Pastor Lynne,
Monique, Joelle, Mary.
Yay! And please keep our counterpart that is not here with us, Miss April. Please keep her in prayer. As she is going through a healing process right now. So we just want to pray for her to be healed by God's healing hands. Amen. Amen. All right. So let's get into this. This is how we do it. We choose a subject from our conversation bowl. Who wants to choose? Why? Everybody's scared. Everybody's scared. Everybody's scared to do it. They're like, no, we don't want
to do it. Okay. Relationships. Does anyone know the real you?
Shoot, do I know the real me? Is the question.
Relationships. Does anyone know the real you? Wow. That's a good question, though. That is a good question. A good question.
Wow, that's really something to ponder and think about. I don't think that you yourself always knows the real you. I think that you're still in a discovery journey as long as you're living. So, as close as she and I are, there's still things that we don't discuss. We keep to ourselves. So, I don't know if we can say that means that she doesn't know the real me. But wow, y'all got me on this one. Wow. I don't know.
So I think the when we talk about the real you, are we just talking about being the authentic person that you are?
Right.
But that's kind of hard because a lot of times we are not authentic. We kind of what do they call those shapeshifters? we shape ourselves according to the people that we're around.
That makes sense.
I try not to do that. Right.
Yeah, I try not to too.
I try not to do that because my thing is that why go through life allowing others to dictate the type of person you should be?
I agree with that.
That's good. I'm sorry, I'm thinking out loud. This one has me stumped.
Me too.
Because what really comes to mind is who knows me well enough to know all my bad habits? Right here. Anyway, yeah.
So many different perspectives too, because you have your
Yeah.
spouse or your significant other. Do they really know you?
And
Your
each
friend.
relationship
And
is
your
different.
Right.
So it's your
Right.
I think
Yeah.
it's your circumstances,
Mhm.
whatever situation you're in. I think sometimes, like you said, Pastor, you adjust. You just,
Right.
Yeah, but
You're adjusting
to know
accordingly.
that God has uniquely made us individuals, I don't think that his intent was for us to conform to be able to fit in. And I think for years, let me just speak for me, for years, I spent a lot of years being who someone else wanted me to be, and what I thought other people wanted me to be. And I'm just now whew, coming into my 60s, right? I'm just now getting to this place in life where I'm able to say, you know what, Lynn, I'm kind of starting to like Lynn. Like I'm kind of starting to love who Lynn is, because for so many years I have tried to conform to make myself fit in the norm of what everybody else, like I'm quirky. I don't normally fit in, right? Because I'm kind of weird. And
I didn't say
just
weird.
you.
I didn't say weird. Just
Ask me. No, I'm
No,
saying.
don't ask her. Don't do that. Don't do it.
just different in your own way.
Yeah. I am
I
different.
don't think I would say weird.
Thank you.
Or someone else.
Oh, she called me bougie. For the
Not
first
you.
time.
Hey,
For the
hey,
first
hey,
time.
not you.
For the first time I ever heard that, bougie for me. Okay. I might be a little bit bougie though.
Wait, a little
I might
bit.
be a little bit bougie. I don't know about a whole lot, but I might be a little bit bougie.
Sweetie, birds of a feather flock together, and I already know that I am, so that makes you too. That's just all
But I'm an
it is.
eagle. I soar above birds.
No.
So.
No.
No? Okay.
It is what it is.
All right. But for real though, I do though think sometimes I'm not your normal. You know, Jeffrey always says that he's an acquired taste. And sometimes I think I'm an acquired taste.
I think we all are. I
Yeah.
do think that we all are, because everybody is not for everybody. So your acquired taste is who you're going to hopefully attract to. But you are an acquired taste.
I am, but you know what? I found that there's some fine wines that's an acquired. So we'd like to hear from you all. What do you say about being the authentic you? Like who are you really? Are you or do you conform yourself to fit into the norm? Because nobody wants to be by themselves, right? No, nobody wants to be the loner on the island by themselves. We all want to be accepted, right?
So I think we all conform to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it real.
Yeah, if we are
Some
being
more than others, but I think that we all do conform at least a little bit. When you go to work, you've got this hat on. When you're in church, you got that hat on, so I think we all conform a
But
little
it's
bit.
hard when I just think about the question. Does anybody know the real you? Like, who can I think of that I'm that close to that knows
that you're that
The real
vulnerable.
you.
Yeah.
everything about me? And I have one friend, but
Now I have to
She said
say,
she had one friend. Okay, but
besides you guys,
Oh, okay.
I know what you meant,
that knows
but I know that
everything.
there is one person who knows everything, just about everything. I'm gonna say 95%
Mhm.
about me, and that would be Mo. Like, I don't think there's anything in my life or that I've gone through in life that she is not aware of. I think there are some things that I may keep to myself to protect myself. But I don't know that anybody knows all of who Lynn is.
100%.
And I think it goes back to what you said, because I don't think Lynn knows 100% of who I am. I'm in the discovery stage now of who I am, and I think an interesting question would be, why do we spend so much time not really coming to know who we are? Like, I think we spend more time trying to be what someone else wants us to do versus really spending the time finding out who we really are.
So what about that trying to fit in? So we conform so that we don't stick out, so that we're not out there by ourselves. Something I could think of. I mean, and truth be told, there were so many years in my life where I didn't like myself. So I was trying to be anybody but me. I'm not there anymore, though.
Okay, on that note.
Wow, makes you comfortable in your own skin now.
Some
You're
days,
right?
I'm still having the gut and stuff, but For the most part, yes.
I'm trying to learn how to love all my roles. And coming to like me and who I am, I am really trying to be authentic about accepting who I am, like all of me. And I think doing that is making me get to this place where I'm becoming more open and vulnerable about who I am. And something else that's really, really funny though, not funny, but that I just didn't expect in writing this book, that it would take me on a journey of rediscovering who I am. Never in a million years would you have told me that writing a book would do that to you. And so I'm on this journey of self-discovery. Like, I really want to be able to say that you all know me 100%, the whole real Lynne, but you don't, because Lynne is still trying. But I think it doesn't hinder our relationship, though. I think because we're finding that we're growing in those areas together.
But there's nothing, oh, sorry, let's just say it real quick. There's nothing wrong with keeping some things to yourself.
No,
There's nothing
No,
wrong
no.
with that.
and that's what I was going to say is that I don't think anyone, even our parents, I no longer have our parents, but I don't think anyone would know 100% of all of you.
Yeah.
And with me, personally, I think I've spent so much of my life trying to fit in and trying to be who someone else wanted me to be, that I have said, okay, enough is enough. You know, if you can't accept me for who I am, then maybe you're not the person who needs to be in my life.
Absolutely.
What are some of the things, if you don't mind sharing, what are some of the areas that you feel that you have compromised, that you have shaped in order for yourselves to fit in? I think that's a question I'm sure somebody else is probably wanting to ask as well. But when we think about that, what are some of those areas? Maybe we can help someone else through it.
I think the hardest part for me was the relationship that I was in. I was trying so hard to make the relationship work and be happy, and I conform myself to
You became unhappy.
try and be happy, but it just wasn't.
Right.
And back to what you were saying, it just, I had to step back and say, okay, I have to be me and I have to be happy, and I can't be this person that I'm trying to be because it's just not working.
Right.
And it took a while, but then when I stepped back and looked at myself and starting to take care of myself, the relationship fell apart. But it was for the better because it just made me stronger. It made me
Right.
I think that's really
learn
good.
how to be me.
That's good. Because
Very good.
we as women have a tendency to conform to whoever it is that we're interested in or like or with.
Yes.
And it's not always in our best interest to do so. But a lot of women seem to have a fear of being by themselves. But how do you get to know you if you don't spend any time with you?
Right.
If you're always trying to fit into something that somebody else expects you to be, then you don't get an opportunity to truly know who you are. So I guess I'm talking to certain ladies, maybe men too, who are afraid to be by themselves. Know that you are good by yourself.
Yes.
You are enough.
You are enough.
You know,
Yeah.
don't say that he completes me because you're whole all by yourself.
But there's a lot of women out there that,
But not just women though, there are a lot
There's
of
a lot of
men
yes,
Yeah.
out
there
there
is.
that
There is.
do the same thing, like totally give themselves up to be with someone that
To
does
please
not have
that.
their best interest at heart. To please that person, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think for me, One of the areas I think I struggled the hardest of getting to know who I was ministry. It was in ministry. I always thought there was something wrong with me because I didn't fit in with a normal ministry, if that makes sense. Like, I just never saw things in a normal way. Everything that God showed me was always so abstract. And it's like, and there are so many ways that we're expected to conform. And so what I started finding myself doing was conforming to the norm because I wanted to fit in. Like, I got tired of being ridiculed. I got tired of feeling like I was by myself. I got tired of just going into a room and feeling so uncomfortable because I wasn't like everybody else. And so I started to conform in ministry. Like, I started to shape myself into this minister that people say we're supposed to be. And we're supposed to, but I found myself a lot of nights crying. I found myself, I was sad all the time because I felt like I wasn't good enough for anybody to accept me for being me. So I had to put on this, I had to become an actress, right?
Like this facade.
Yeah, this facade that I'm somebody I'm not to fit in. And it wasn't until maybe 10 years ago that I actually started going down a journey where I started telling myself that I don't have to fit in with the norm. Like, it's okay for me to be different and to be out there. And I'm not on the island by myself. I just haven't met the other person who's doing it too, right? I know they're out there, but I just haven't met them yet. And so it's okay. It's okay because I'm enough.
Yes.
God, He made me this way. And if He wanted me to be like everybody else, He would have made me like everyone else.
Right.
And the sad thing is that when you think about, everybody says, you guys are so young. We're not young. We're going into our 60s, and we're just now starting the beginning of the discovery of who we are.
Right.
And so if we can help anybody today to be okay with who they are, just be the authentic person God created you to be. Imposter syndrome, that's what I was trying to say. Imposter syndrome.
I was just thinking in how we have children and we want our children not to be bullied at school and such, but at the same time we want them to be who they really are. But if we're not, then how can they be?
In other words, practice what you preach.
Well, that's not fair.
Okay.
Hey. All right, I guess if we got to practice.
That was not fun.
I just want to say hello to Holly. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Hi,
Holly. For me, it's the I use affirmations as kind of my crutch to try to stay in that positive mode. Because too many years I spent not liking me and feeling down and depressed and why am I different, instead of embracing who God made me to be.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to be in that place anymore. Do I still struggle? Sure I do. But not as much. A lot more comfortable with who I am. One thing I do know is that I got a heart of gold, and I'm okay saying it.
Is it gold or bronze?
Mine is gold. Baby. Mine is gold. So I would encourage you, take that quirky thing that people have set you aside about or from or talked about you and just embrace it.
Yeah.
Let it be the thing that sets you apart.
Right.
And when we're talking about relationship, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. When we're talking about relationship and being in a relationship and do they really know who you are, I think it's good to know that if you have to pretend to be in a relationship, then that's not a relationship for you.
Yes.
Whether it's with a man, whether it's with women or men having a relationship with men, however the case may be, if you have to be an imposter in order to be in that relationship, then you don't need that relationship. It is not the one for you. And I think that's hard for us because we're taught, right, to don't give up on people, give people a chance, and sometimes you need to change who you are. Well, it's okay to change, but you don't completely transform or conform yourself.
You don't change for that person.
After you do it for yourself.
Because at the end of the day, you're the one that has to go to bed with that person.
Exactly.
That's
you have
you.
to live with
You
yourself
gotta live. Yes,
because
exactly.
that person might not be there forever.
That's right.
And see, going through life, and you brought up relationship. You know, in my marriage, it's like I'm trying so hard to be this perfect wife, where at the same time, I was being torn down and beat down with the mental abuse and some of the physical abuse that I had to sit and I had to ask. I know this is not what God intended for me to be in because I spent so much time trying to please and trying to change to be, you know, that God did not want me at the bottom of the barrel, you know, and that's where I was mentally. My heart and everything was at the bottom of the barrel. So when I had to step back and say, okay, wait a minute, this is not this is not cool. This is not where I want to be, you know. And so when I had to step out, that's when I started realizing. I said, okay, and I was feeling good, you know. I was like, whew. I might have been in my little 2-bedroom apartment, me and my son, but I was okay, and I was bouncing back. You know, even after being told you'll never be nothing, guess what? I'm my father's child. So I'm gonna be something. I might not be a billionaire,
Okay.
but I'm gonna be something.
Yes, and you tell them I came into this relationship
Right.
as something.
As something.
Yes.
So that's something that you would not take from me. And now, you know, years later, you know, yeah, I spend a lot of time by myself. But now I'm learning. I'm in a relationship right now. And I keep asking myself, I said, okay, is something gonna happen sooner or later? Because you know how you get to where you can be just completely be yourself or be crazy, silly, and you know, be upset or be crying or whatever. And it's like, okay, it's okay. You know,
Yeah.
So when you hear that confirmation, you're like, okay, you're just waiting to see, okay, is this gonna go sideways?
Give yourself permission to enjoy being yourself.
I'm learning that I have to just go with it and enjoy it and not think the negative because that was the past. This is now. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but this is now. And if it feels right, then let me just go with it, you know. And it's not just in a relationship with men or women, but you know, you look at friendships. I've had my friend that we were so connected, we were connected at the heart. We felt each other's spirit. We can be miles away and we felt each other's spirit. I felt when she died. Something just took it, just pulled right out of me. And I felt it. And I believe that she was the one that probably knew me close to 100%. Probably close to 100%. And so I had to get back into that walk. And now I'm looking at my sisters here. I'm like, I said, okay, God, all right, you have somebody waiting in the background, you know, all right. You know, so those are things that I had to, and I could be myself.
Yeah.
I could be bougie, angry,
Okay, bougie is in. Just because you didn't know,
I could just be
bougie is in.
You
Okay.
know?
It is what it is.
And so when you have that, and those of you out there, you know, if you're in that type of relationship to where you can't be yourself and you can't say what's on your mind, or you know, just have an open conversation, act silly or crazy, if you want to take off running through the room or whatever, if you cannot be yourself, then maybe you should just step back, look at the whole picture, and just really pray about it and ask God, is this where you want me? Is this for me?
Do you ever feel though that if you do let people know who you are, like they won't want you?
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I really don't care if they get it.
Gerald said, I don't care. I do not care.
Like what we're, my thoughts are, sometimes it takes years for people to get to know the real you. It's not like it happens overnight.
It can take a
And
lifetime.
for someone to really get to know you, you have to be trusting of them. You have to be,
Right.
I mean, whether it's a man, a romantic relationship or a friendship.
Right.
That trust
You
and
have to
respect.
really
Yeah.
You gotta
just,
be willing to put the work in.
yes,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you really do.
And you just can't be afraid to be who you are. And I think that's a part of getting up in age is being able to say, you know what, I'm making a decision not to be afraid of who I am. Because I kind of feel like I'm a little special as God created me this way. And
Mhm.
so this is what you get. You get this. And if it's
What
not
you see is what you
what
get.
you see is what you get.
I say that at work. Yeah, Miss Mary, my coach, I said, look, I am who I am. What you see is what you get. Just
Yeah.
plain and simple.
And I do think though, sometimes we can use that phrase to not do an inner check.
Mhm.
I think sometimes that
Makes
too
sense.
becomes a crutch where we say, because I'm real good at that. What you see is what you get. Why? Because I really don't want to show you what you really are looking for, right? Like, I'm gonna show you what I want you to see. I'm gonna show you what I
That
want
makes
you to
sense.
know. So,
I'll show you what I think you can handle.
what I think you can handle, right? Because I might not be a tall drink of water, but I'm a short drink of water.
And
I'm sorry. I'm acting up.
and everybody isn't for everybody. So everybody that I meet is not for me, cannot
Yeah.
handle me, nor I them. Let's just be clear.
Oh,
But that's okay
That is
because
There's somebody.
I am who I am.
okay.
I'm good.
Mary over here being bad right
What you
now.
say?
She over here being bad. You don't want to hear what she said.
That's
All right.
somebody.
Look, guys, we want to hear from you. We want to have a conversation with you and talk to us. Let us know what you think. But I think that this is a subject that is one that needs to be on the forefront. It is a subject of being able to come to a place of just loving you for who you are, and not settling because you want somebody to accept their perception of what you should be. And that's kind of difficult. That's a difficult journey, but
You'll never fit into who they want you to be because it's not who you are. So there will always be something missing if you're trying to fit into who they expect you to be. It'll never be right.
Right.
when
Maybe you'll have regrets.
my daughter was little, Shay Shay, and Aisha and Eric have the same toy. But there was this toy where they come with all these different shapes and you have to put them in the thing. And she kept trying to put the triangle into the square. And it wasn't going through, and she was getting so frustrated. And she would walk away, come back, and she'd try it again. And she just, for some reason, she just couldn't understand that a triangle only has 3 points where the square has 4, right? So she's trying every way to put, like she's doing it sideways. She's doing every way, but it would not fit. And because she is the child who wants to be perfect, she's doing whatever she can to make this imperfect square, all right, which is a triangle, fit into this perfect square. And I remember having to explain to her that you cannot force that triangle through this square hole because it will never fit. That square was not designed for that triangle to fit. And so it was just a lesson to remember that we're always trying to shape shift ourselves, right? Into fitting into a shape that does not fit us. We weren't designed, we weren't created to fit in that particular mold. And then we wonder why it's hurt so much. Like we're trying to push ourselves through this hole, and it's hurting, it's scraping up our shoulders and our knees.
I know y'all remember that song, if it doesn't fit, don't force it, just relax and let it go.
I do. I don't think that's how.
Oh, Jesus.
It fit. It fit.
Yeah, okay.
It did fit.
That was good. I'm sorry. We said
Yeah,
who
you gotta
are.
laugh. You gotta
Okay,
laugh.
be who you are.
Yes.
She can't help it, y'all. She
And
can't
I'm not
help it.
apologizing. So,
She's an unapologetic sitter. That's what.
That's the remote. That's really her.
But you know what's so fun about her? I think that's what's so fun about her, but she always comes up with these crazy things.
Yes, she does.
No, the lyrics are right on time, but it's never when it's supposed to be. So as we talk about me being the choir taste.
Oh, boy.
Okay. All right.
oh, Lord Jesus.
Welcome, Lainey. We welcome you to watch with us.
Okay.
Okay, that was funny, y'all. I'm sorry. That's the wonderful thing about just being who you are. Get up out of them boundaries. Stop letting people put boundaries on who you are.
Right.
And everything does not make you a sinner. Okay, it does not make you a sinner. If you're a fun person, be a fun person and be okay with that. That's one that I tell you, that is one of the things I love about Mo, is you never know what's going to come out. But when it comes out, it's hilarious. It is hilarious. But just being yourself, not trying to make yourself as a triangle fit into this square hole. Be who God, go on and go into that hole where the triangle belongs, because that's how God shaped you.
Right.
That's how he molded you. That's what he wanted you to be, and be okay with that. Don't wait till you're our age or older to start working on loving yourself. I just did a I think it was TikTok. Maybe it wasn't TikTok. Maybe it was Instagram.
Lord.
Cause y'all know I've been having fun on TikTok, right? Cause I'm loving myself now, right?
I still don't know how to use it to this day.
But one of the
I
things
don't
he
know
was
how to use
saying was, stop being who everybody else is telling you to be,
Right. Just be.
and just be you. Just embrace who you are. And that's a hard thing when you have grown up and have been told that this is what a lady looks like. This is how a lady acts. When there's so many ways that we can express our womanhood without conforming to what the world says we're supposed to be. So we live in this world, but we do not conform to this world. You're preaching, girl. Go ahead now.
But be transformed.
But be transformed by what? The renewing of your mind.
All right. Okay.
So what do you think? Tell us what you think. How do you feel about being the authentic you? And maybe even some of the fears that keeps you from being who you are. The fear of people not liking you, the fear of not fitting in, the fear of being alone. I mean, there are so many reasons why we don't come 100% of who we are.
Well, I can tell you this, no matter who you really are, there's going to be somebody else like you. Not exactly, but somebody else is going to be just as quirky or whatever.
Right.
So don't worry about being on that island by yourself. Trust me, you'll have your own group. And you'll be able to relax and enjoy just being who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what's been so cool about being in this sisterhood is we can just have fun, just be you. There's no expectation for you to be who I want you to be. Just be who you are, and that's something that I don't know that I've ever had before this. I think I've always wanted to be accepted. I've always wanted to be loved.
Right.
I've always wanted to be on the same level or playing ground, right, with someone. So I was always conforming to that. And so it feels good to just be Lynne. And I really kind of almost like Lynne. I really am Lynne.
Almost.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie and say I'm 100%.
We're supposed to love ourselves.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I really am. It's been a journey, but
I said we're supposed to love ourselves.
I'm getting there.
You know,
And my answer is still gonna be, I am getting
Sometimes I
there.
don't like myself.
Sometimes I don't like myself, but I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I don't love myself either.
I was just going to say, I remember when we first started out in ministry, and I remember saying, okay, I like myself. And you said, okay, now I need you to love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, wait a minute. You can say nothing about that. But I just would hope that young women especially, that's who I'm reaching out to right now. Love who you are, where you are, and know that you are enough. Don't chase that man. You are stronger by yourself because you have to do it by yourself. So you don't need him. Don't ever be with someone because you need him. Stop chasing a dollar. Let's just stop chasing a dollar.
But some of them don't even have a dollar, and they still chase it.
Yeah. So, my 2 cents.
But not just not chasing the man, but not chasing after any relationship, right? That's not going to get back to you. Yeah, like relationships are supposed to be reciprocal. And if you're the only one doing, then that becomes a problem.
Right.
So, I agree with Mo. Don't chase after being a man. Don't chase after money. Don't chase after fitting in any type of clique or group. Just be you and be okay with being you. And just remember, Mo said earlier, you are enough. You are enough. And if you have to go on a journey to find out just how much you are enough, then go on that journey. Invest that energy in developing and discovering who you are.
Right. And when you speak of relationships, male or female, take time to ask yourself, am I happy?
Yeah, I know for
Am
me,
I happy?
the relationship I'm in now, I had a wonderful man, and I'm letting him know the real me, and it feels good because we're best friends, and I get to share. I feel comfortable sharing everything, sharing me
Right.
and being me, and I haven't had that in a long time. And it just so for whoever's out there, don't be afraid to open up your heart again and just be you and let somebody know you. Welcome them in.
Yeah.
We
That
have
was my
learned.
challenge, is opening my heart back up.
Yeah.
That was
We
so
have learned to be so guarded. We have become so judgmental
oh
that we don't
yeah.
allow people to be their real selves.
Yeah.
So let's do
Yeah.
something different.
Yeah.
You know what you got to lose, right? What you got to lose? Try it. What do you have to lose? Oh, you mean you can actually start loving yourself, like liking yourself? I had a young lady who was asking me about dressing, and she was like, well, I was always told that young women dress a certain way, like young women who are going somewhere in life, young women who are going to catch the perfect husband. There's a certain way that you're supposed to look. And it was so funny because, man, I used to tell myself that same thing. Right? Like, I was like, okay, there's a certain way that you have to dress. There's a certain way that you have to be. Like you have to be together. I was always rebellious, but I won't lie, I did conform to it. But I was telling her, I said, God is not looking at the way you're dressing. He's not, that's not his concern. His concern is your soul.
Right.
And if you can't be real and just be who God is calling you to do, then you're already going down the wrong road, right? It ain't even about your dress, but it is about how do you feel about yourself. And when you care about yourself, when you love yourself, when you respect yourself, you dress accordingly. So you know how far that you can let yourself go, right? You know how far to go. You know what to wear, but not letting that be any indication of how much God loves you or how much he doesn't love you, right? Like there's no indication in your relationship with God. Just be you, and it's okay. It's okay if you don't wear pantyhose. I'm sure I'm gonna get in trouble.
Right.
Somebody gonna have something to say to me.
Okay.
So I don't say a whole lot because I don't wear them.
It's okay not to wear pantyhose, all right? It's okay. You don't have to have a dress to your ankle. It's okay to have one above your knee.
Right.
Don't look on Facebook because you'll see one with me above my knee, okay? But it's okay when you love yourself, you dress yourself according to how you love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the thing is take your focus off of the way you're dressing and put your focus on being the authentic you that God has called you. Spend that time creating and developing you, right? Develop yourself.
Right.
Develop your love and your heart for yourself. You really can't love anybody else when you don't love yourself.
Yes.
And that was a lesson I had to learn with my husband is he was loving me and loving me and loving me, but I didn't know how to love me. So it was hard to give that love back to him because I didn't know how to love me. But when I began to be honest with him about all of my past and my hurt and my pains and how I was feeling and what was going on with me, I think that's when it began to start changing with us. That respect, it was a different type of respect. It was a different type of expectation. But it didn't come until I was able to open myself up and just say, this is who I am, dude. This is who you married, right? I know I said I was somebody else when you married me, but this is really
So then he finally got to know
That was
real
the
you.
Lynne. That was
that was Glenn.
That was the Lynne.
That was the Lynne with the
That was
E on
the
the
Lynne
end.
in the 30s, then the Lynne in the 40s.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, there was some decade lens,
Right,
right? Hey guys, we want to hear from you. Tell us what you think. Have any questions? But we are excited to have this conversation of being completely open and honest about where we are when it comes to relationships and being authentically who we are.
Yes.
Then do people really know who we are?
Shoot, the fact that we get on here and tell all our business.
Woo!
All the business.
Well, I think too, referring to our sisterhood and our relationships, I feel comfortable with you guys. I always have. Just being me, whether it's good, bad, and ugly, because you've seen it all, and you guys have been with me through it, and that's what just helps me open myself up, because I didn't before.
It makes me want other women to experience this.
Yes.
Yeah.
The fact
Yes.
that we know that each one of us is different, is unique, brings something to the table. Mine is different from what you put down and you put down, but we all come together and it jives.
It does. It does. And I think it makes it such more of a fruitful time together.
Mhm.
And fruitful in meaning that not only we growing as sisters, but we're able to share that fruit, right, with someone else. And so it's a good thing to be able to develop these type of relationships that allow you to just be who you are. And that's how you really develop in who you are in ministry, what you're developing as a mother, developing as a woman, even an entrepreneur, right? Like when you get to know who you are, you learn your passions of what it is that God has really placed inside of you. A lot of times we think our ministry is only in the church buildings, but sometimes our ministry is that business that you build, right? Or that community services that you do. It's coming to know the authentic you that opens up those avenues to be able to tap into those things as well. So just the relationship is not just building a relationship with people, but it is building a relationship with God and building a relationship within yourself, coming to know what is it that God is calling me to do. What's that passion? And when I learn who I am, I learn what my passion is as well. So, am I taking you to church? Okay. Am I being into church, eh? Hey. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow.
I was going to say, let's get our praise on there. Hey, okay, but okay. All right.
One thing that I thought about that I got from what you were just saying is that we all bring something different to the table, but what I also see is that we learn from each other. Like you might learn something from me, and I'm gonna learn something from you. We're all learning something different from each other, which is helping our growth and our walk in life. And it actually is kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not blending, but more meshing together.
I think
it's
developing as a group.
Right.
We are
as well as
developing
individually.
Yeah.
We are
Right.
developing.
Yeah. And in that developing, we're discovering some wonderful things about ourselves. So like, you never in a million years would have told me that I would enjoy going away with women. Like, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Going away on a vacation with a bunch of women.
I knew she was going to point at me.
But I am telling you, there has not been a time that we have gone away, whether it's just us or some other people, women have joined us, we just have not had a great time. Like, like you just open and being yourself. Those are just such rare occasions to find those. And I just encourage you, find people that you can build a village with, and not a foundation that's not sturdy, right? Build a village with people on a very sturdy and honest and authentic foundation so that you can enjoy the moment. And I hate to keep going back to the Bible, but I think it is the Bible that really helps us to get grounded in this area. Where he said he came that we might have abundant life, right? And more, right? He said more than enough. And we really don't live like that. we put so many limitations on this that we never experience the more than, right? We're okay with just a little bit that we have. And God said, I just got so much more for you. Just if you would just be you, just be who I created you to be, then you can really experience the fullness of what it is that I want. I don't know about y'all. I'm ready for our relationship to go into that more than, right? I want it to be more than I can ever think, imagine. That it can ever enter into my heart, that I can ever see. Right? I want that more.
Yes.
I just want, because this is so good. I know that this is not it. This can't be it. Like, God, I know there's more to this. And I just want the young women, not just the young women, but even women our age who are stuck and not being able to experience this type of freedom. I want them to be able to have that sisterhood that says, you know what, you could just be you. You could take off the church hat. You don't have to have the. You don't have to take off the robe. You don't have to put that on. Remove the judgment. Remove the self-hate, and let's just work on developing one another.
And that I knew she was gonna point at me because that was one of my struggles, and she knows that. That was one of my struggles, which is why I went on one women's retreat, never wanted to participate again, because I felt that if I cannot be around women who I feel I can be open with and trust, and then I'm not walking down a hall or walking past and I'm hearing them ripping somebody behind. If I feel that way, I don't want to be around it. And I just always had a problem with hanging around groups of women, and even growing up, my best friends in life has been men. Like my childhood friends, they're men. I grew up with them. I went to school with them. They had my back. I had their back, and to this day we're friends. But it took me a long time to put that trust out there as far as a group of women to really have that sisterhood. And I know some people might think, wow, that's really sad to say, but that's life, that's reality. That's real. And it's not just women, it's men. I hear men, like, man, I can't mess with that dude. It's no, he ain't right or something like that. And us as women, that's how we feel. And I think that plays a huge part in being able to open ourselves up and being able to open our hearts up, not just to women, but to men, because it's that distrust, it's that disrespect, it's that belittling, it's that judgmental attitude. And it's really sad, that we have to go through life feeling that way. It's really sad that we encounter that. But let me tell you, and you people out there, whoever's watching, when I came in contact with this group of women, and I know this one right here, she said, you know what? She said, okay, I need you to stop saying that you don't like hanging around a group of women. And I had to step back and I had to say, okay, I think I'm offending her. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying that. And I stopped saying it.
Oh, you wasn't offending me, but
okay. But we were driving in the car, and I think I felt her hand trying to get ready to come across. But going on a trip, whether it's for a day or two, or even if it's just waking up in the morning and say, hey sis, what you doing? Let's hit the road. Let's go sit by the water. Being able to do that and just feel so good. Oh my gosh.
Girl, yeah.
I mean, just sit there, and I think we lose track of time. It's like we don't want to leave. We're having such a good time, we lose track of time.
Yeah. I remember the first trip we went on as a huge group on the water. Where were we?
Went to Fort Bragg.
Fort Bragg.
Oh gosh.
And we stayed on the water. There was a bunch of us too. And we had gone on trips before, but they were always smaller groups. And this time there was a bunch of us, but we had so much fun. I did not believe that we were gonna. I was just thinking, because you're sitting, you're waiting. Okay,
Waiting for
somebody's
something
gonna
to happen.
somebody's gonna
Somebody-
say something stupid, or somebody's getting ready to be extra
Somebody just get in
drama,
somebody's
right?
face.
Yeah, it's getting ready. But we had a movie night. Remember, we watched movies.
We had every kind of experience you could
Oh
think
my
of.
goodness, we
Good,
got
bad,
sick
and
together.
We all got sick together. I was coughing the whole time for
Oh my
some odd
gosh.
reason.
Yeah.
Poor
We had a
Pastor
good time.
Khadijah, I had
Yeah.
room with her, and I'm like, I'm sorry if I'm coughing. For some reason, the whole trip, I was
I
coughing.
think Khadijah's the only one that didn't get sick.
No,
I didn't.
You didn't get sick with her.
I stopped eating
but
it.
it was an experience.
Oh,
No,
the
Khadijah
food.
did get sick.
All of
The
us,
food.
all of
Yeah,
us
yeah.
being together.
It was, and to think
That fellowship.
that we were able to come together and we fellowship. It wasn't about church.
No.
It was literally about us coming together and just living life at that moment together. And that was like, it was so fun to where it just made us want to continue to have those types of getaways. And I just think I agree with you, Mary, when you say that you could just call up one of us and say, hey, let's go and do a day trip. Like, let's go to the Bay. Mary's good about that. Mary, let's schedule a trip to go to the Bay.
Our Presidio.
I want to go watch the boats. But it's cool, right? It's cool because we can do it and we can do it without judgment. And so I just encourage you guys. I hate that we're running out of time. This is so good. I hope and I pray that you guys will leave from this time of conversation with us. If you have not already started walking down this journey of discovering who you really are, so that you can be comfortable with just being your authentic me, your authentic self, right? That you will begin that journey, that you will remember. If you don't take anything else away from us on this evening, take away that you are enough.
Yes.
You don't have to conform. You don't have to ship shape. You don't have to do any of that. Just be who you have been created to be, because you are enough. We just thank you guys for joining us. This is a wonderful conversation. Now, a couple of things before we leave. There is a Lead Bold conference coming up. I have a privilege of being able to be one of the workshop leaders. We hope that you guys will join us. You can go to leadbold.com. You can also look on Pastor Lynne's page, and it's also listed on Pastor Lynne's page. We hope to see you there September 16th and 17th. Woo, my birthday weekend. Yay! I hope I don't turn up too much where I can't go teach. No, I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just playing. But we hope that you guys will join us on September 16th to 17th. And where is it at?
Pleasanton?
Not Pleasanton, Livermore. In Livermore. You guys, you won't be disappointed. It's a great opportunity. And they do have scholarships if you need scholarships. So please go to leadbold.com. The other thing that we want you to do,
Spell it out.
leadbold.com. And you can register there. They're still taking registration. The other thing, if you have a business, women, we want to promote our Black businesses, our white businesses, our Hispanic businesses. It does not matter if you are a woman and you have a business, we want to promote your business. So please inbox us so that we can get back to you and tell you how that is done, where we will give you a shout out and give your business the spotlight. So it will be our spotlight moment, and we want your business to be a part of that. And again, we invite your questions, we invite your comments, and if you have a discussion, please put that in our inbox.
Yes.
But we can highlight one business now, Miss Joanne. Boom! No. Miss Joelle, who is a hairstylist. I told us real quick. We have 0 minutes. But go ahead.
I've been a hairstylist for 30 years, and my daughter and I are venturing out on our own. She does spray tanning, she does body sculpting, so we're just kind of connecting our business together, and we want to grow our business. So
And where's your business located?
in Folsom, California,
All right.
Flawless
so
Beauty Bar.
What is it?
Say it.
Flawless Beauty Bar.
Flawless.
Flawless. If you want to be flawless, this is the girl for you. So you guys, how can they get in touch with you, Joelle?
Oh goodness. You can go. Let's see. My daughter just put our website up, so I think it's flawlessbeautybar.com. I'm not sure, but
Okay.
so
So
you
we'll
can
make
get
sure.
further
Yeah, we'll make sure that
We'll
we
make
pin
sure you-
that.
Yes.
The way to get in touch, whatever. If you guys are looking for a place to go, get your hair done, get some body sculpting next to me because I'm ready to go get some body sculpting. But So- we just want to spotlight Flawless Beauty Bar
Yes.
in Folsom, California. So if you're in Folsom, look her up. You will not be disappointed. Other than that, listen, guys, we thank you for being with us. You are the greatest for hanging out with Pastor Lynne and
Friends.
and we hope to see you in 2 weeks. Until then, remember, you are enough. God bless you.